Oh, you're
me.
right. Okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, yeah.
I was looking for my hat, but I can't find it. But I think my
Okay,
husband's going to bring it for me. So my
so
hair's a bit fluffy.
I didn't have you on Thursday because I had a Bournemouth fan on to preview the game, and he was quite
Boo! You blew
yeah, he
me
was
out for a Bournemouth fan.
yeah. So he was quite like he even bigged us up more than we do, right? Which is quite
Okay,
surprising. Yeah, and he
that's
was like,
good.
so he was quite scared of the game.
Well,
So first of all, what did you think of the starting lineup that Conte put out? Were you
I was a
surprised
bit
Skill didn't play?
no, I was a bit baffled about Sanchez because I thought, even though it's the lesser of two evils, isn't it? So I
Mm.
think he's slightly better defender than Dyer, and his passing's about 5% better. Like I said, it's the lesser of two evils. But obviously, Dyer is the blue-eyed boy, so I thought he would never be dropped to the bench
I'm
because
the
it's
same. I'm
like
the
a
same opinion.
rotation.
But
It's more
yeah.
like a rotation, though, isn't it? Has
Mm.
like I think he thought, right, we've got a big game against Marseille. He sees Eric Dyer as his blue-eyed boy, I think, because he's got no one else there. He's only got Sanchez and the croc Tanganga because he basically is the croc because he can't play. He's not playing, is he? So there's proof in the pudding. Yeah,
But didn't you tell me before that Tanganga was like training or something with King? Was it King or
yeah, he was with Ledley King. He's taking him under his wing to try and
yeah?
give him the confidence to, because when you're carrying a back injury and he's
Mm.
got like other injuries that niggle him, I think his confidence has been knocked and he's scared to pick up an in, just like Cess, right? But obviously they're two different players because one plays like centre back really or right wing back. I think Tanganga
Mm.
can play,
Yeah,
and the other one plays left wing back or just a left back, a left centre back. I don't think I don't think Tanganga is of the fitness that is required by Conte, and that's the only reason he's not getting in. Because ability wise, we all know that he's got more skill set than Dyer.
or Sanchez.
That's play or Sanchez. Well, the thing is, Sanchez is not number one, is he? He's only number two if Dyer's
Mm.
injured or Dyer's dropped. Whereas Tanganga, he's not even a number three because he hasn't even
No.
come off. Has he come off the bench once? Is that right? I
In the
think he's
do you remember
come
the
off the.
Champions League? Was it
Yeah,
Champions League or was it the Cup? And he brought him on with Davies or something, and then they changed both the centre backs alongside Dyer. Remember? And
that's
Tanganga,
right.
I think was it Davies? I think he came on or Longley. I can't remember. And
I
then
can't
he
remember, but
came on
I
for
know
like
he
20
came on for one
minutes,
game.
30 minutes,
Yeah,
20 minutes, 30
yeah,
minutes. Yeah, I thought he looked good, and
yeah.
I was like, I'd rather him than Sanchez, but he hasn't
The
played since
thing is,
then.
there's a difference between 90 minutes and a 20-minute cameo, as we've
Yeah,
seen with Brian Hill. If you
yeah.
start Brian Hill for 90 minutes, will he be as effective as for those 20 minutes? It's the fitness level, the
Mm.
physicality, and whether you've got that, you're carrying an injury, whether you can last the 90 minutes. Obviously, Conte doesn't feel that he can, and that's why he's not getting his chance. Because if I'm looking at their skill set, I'll put
Mm.
Tanganga way ahead of Dyer.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would, yeah. Even
But
though he
like,
hasn't got the experience, he will learn. He will learn very quickly.
so I thought I'll start with the bad stuff first. What
Go
did you
on
think
then.
of Emerson and Sessegnon and the back five in that
Um,
first half? And just in general, we just played
oh
really
God,
badly. I just don't understand what's going
we
on.
we got.
Why do we
Do you know
start so
what?
badly?
I heard that, but then I heard another angle of it because I didn't see the whole 90 minutes. I just saw little clippings because I was up in Chelmsford, so I didn't see the first half. But I watched it back,
We
but
didn't
I
play
only
very
saw the
well, put it that
highlight.
way. We didn't play very well in the first
I
half.
know that's what I. But then I heard another one, another guy. I don't know if he was a Bournemouth or Spurs fan, but he was talking about it, and he said that Spurs dominated us in the first half, and I thought, well,
What?
I thought no, they couldn't have because everything else I'm reading, they've said Spurs have played rubbish, and Bournemouth were on the front
Well, I
foot.
could tell you what happened. We had
Yeah,
maybe a bit
please.
more possession,
I
a
was
bit more
confused.
possession. Let's say a bit more possession. Skip played higher up. Bissouma
Yeah,
played further back because it was a 3-5-2. And
yeah,
Skip was meant to be the playmaker or whatever you want to say. I don't know. And obviously
right.
Bentancur was on the bench. You came on later. I don't know if you saw the second half, but you must have seen that.
Yeah, I did.
Like
Thank God.
so a rough game. Yeah. We'll talk about
Yeah, hello, Scott.
He's going right.
He's my
But
favourite man because he goes against everything I say, which I
yeah,
love.
really.
I really do love it. There's a bit of banter, you know.
But like, so for me, we had the ball maybe more, but when Bournemouth were breaking, right, they were so dangerous. Like Sanchez, I don't know if you saw the
Yeah,
second goal. Was it second goal?
yes. The first
Emerson and
goal when he
Sanchez like
slipped and the second
collided.
goal.
Emerson and
Oh
Sanchez
no!
like collided, and then
And then
like
he tried to blame Emerson, didn't
yeah,
he?
yeah.
When it was his fault. I saw that.
And it's like our defense was just like honestly, it was atrocious in the first half. And then
Yeah,
obviously Session was giving us nothing. Emerson was giving us nothing. And
yeah.
then
Which is
Son
that
again.
right?
Son again was just really poor. Sorry, Scott. And then Kane was the only player for me who looked like he was going to create something or do something. Like he was dropping
Oh,
deep, he was dropping up.
I've got to put this up for Scott.
Just a
Come on,
Scott,
Scott.
just a
Got
Scott.
me.
Yeah, but that's how it was going. Kane was probably the
That's a
only
real
player in the
threat.
first half who was like
Yeah,
any good for
I
me.
can't comment too much on the first half because I didn't
Because you didn't
see
see
it.
it. But the second half,
Yeah,
obviously
I
we did
saw
concede
more
the
of
goal in
that
the first few minutes.
because I was with my daughters and I didn't want them to think Spurs are ahead of my daughters. You know what I mean? You got to put family first sometimes. But
Yeah.
really, I had one eye on the football.
You're sitting there out like
You have to be diplomatic as a mum, you know, because you go up to visit your daughters and then you're watching the football. No, it doesn't happen.
So you know what I watched the game on Greek TV. Do you know Nova
Yeah,
Sports? If you had, so we have
yeah,
the Greek channels obviously on you. I know you're probably the same, right? You have the Greek channels on
yeah,
TV, and
yeah,
by
I do.
coincidence, they showed the game on the channel my mum put it on just by coincidence. And then
Well,
so I
good.
didn't have to stream. I didn't have to stream it. But my mum, it's weird you mention that because my mum loves it when me and my dad or my family go out for football because it's her own time basically.
Yeah,
So she's
yeah,
like, "You guys get to
yeah.
go and leave me alone for like 2 hours,
I
3 hours."
know. It's
Yeah,
peace and quiet for 2 hours, isn't it?
yeah.
Whereas me, I'm the mum, right? And I'm like
But
Spurs
you're the one with
fanatical.
football. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm the Spurs fanatic. All I do is talk about football all day. My
yeah,
daughter's told me to go upstairs now. She goes, "Get away from me! Too much football." But she likes football. Don't get me wrong, but it's
yeah.
overkill. So she sends me away.
That's quite funny because
I
it's
know.
like my mum gets annoyed at me and my dad when we talk about
Yeah,
football. Like we'll start talking about something completely. They'll be talking about something completely different, and then
yeah.
I'll bring up something, and then it's something we'll talk about football, and my mum's like, "What are you talking about football for?"
I know. But it's like because it's in our hearts. It's our passion, isn't it? Football. So,
Yeah,
but when you're talking to someone who's not reciprocating it, you might as well
yeah,
just
yeah,
shut up.
yeah.
Oh dear. What
But
what
yeah,
are we
so
like? What are
he
we
made a
like?
half-time change. I don't know if you saw Lucas came on for
Yes.
a
And he
skip,
played
which I was
quite
quite
well,
surprised.
didn't he?
I was
I
quite
thought
surprised
Lucas
Skip came off, to be honest.
I wasn't surprised, because I think we needed more players that run at them and that had a little bit of more skullduggery in them and a little bit more energy. Because Skip, however good he is, he's a well measured player. You
I
know what I
like
mean
Skip.
by that?
I like Skip.
Yeah, I like him. He's a well-measured player. He doesn't do anything too fancy. He doesn't take too many risks. Keeps moving the ball. Very efficient player. I call him. It's very handy to have him when you're struggling and you need to keep the ball. You know,
Mm.
um, and he's good at controlling it, which a lot of our players aren't. I must admit. You know what I mean? They have to have three or
Like,
four touches
I don't
before
know
they
how
get it
much you
under
saw
control.
Basuma because you only saw Basuma in the second half. But again,
Yeah.
for me, he didn't do much, to be honest.
No, I'm thinking he's struggling in that Conte system, but then I'm thinking maybe he's just hit a bad patch because Basuma is a class player. He
Mm.
is. His stats prove it, and he's running stats as well. And I'm thinking he's a bit in awe of being at Spurs, the the glamour and the pomp and the ceremony of Spurs, right? But we've got to bring him down a few pegs and say, look, just pretend you're at Brighton. You know, have fun, go out there and, you know, because Brighton bloody beat Chelsea 4-1, you know. They've got really decent footballers. So he's left a team which is really buzzing to a team that was buzzing, but this season is like falling on a flat line. Our football's been atrocious most of the time. There's been pockets of brilliance here, there, and everywhere, but not much continuity. You know, like where you're thinking, bloody hell, we played well. Even for 70 minutes would be nice. And I've been hearing people say, let's play well for 90 minutes. Let's play well for at least 70 of it.
Like an hour,
you know, minimum.
Yeah.
At least an hour or 70 minutes, you know, so you can hold on to something. You're like clutching at straws at the moment, aren't you, for little pockets of play that you think, wow, that was good.
I was going to ask you a question I've been asking everyone that I've been on the channel. So if you're watching this, I'm going on your channel tomorrow or something, you're going to get the same question. Why do you have to concede a goal to wake up? Can someone explain this to me? I don't understand. We conceded 2 for us to start like reacting to the game. And I was after the first one, like I said, I thought we were going to react after the first one. Obviously, you didn't see the first half, but we just carried on the same way. And then they scored the second. And then when they scored the second, I thought this is going to turn to 3 or 4. But I was very scared, especially with the Brighton score. And then thankfully, like we got back into the game. But like, why do you think we're just not starting? Like we always have to concede to wake up. I don't understand this.
Do you know what it is? I think they're a bit arrogant. They think they're better than every other team. I think they go on the pitch thinking we've got Conte, we've got a style of play that's not pretty to look at, but we're not losing. They think they've got a divine right to win. But I said before, right, on my stream as well, I said we've got to be prepared because they're going to come out all guns blazing, and I was right. They did, and they like pulverised us. And the 2 goals they scored were fabulous.
Yeah, did you see
Even though we made mistakes, they took their chance. That guy, Kiefer Moore, what a tremendous goals he scored.
It's funny you were speaking about him because when I had the Bournemouth fan on Thursday, for people who watched that, we spoke about this on his channel, right? Because I did a recording for him, and he mentioned to me that what if we played a 1 striker or if we played 2? Like, what would you be more scared of? And I told him. So you mentioned Keeper Moore. Is that his name? Keeper Moore? Is that the guy?
Keeper Moore, yeah.
Yeah. A lot. And he was saying, if Keeper Moore plays with, I can't remember who the other guy played with. Like, would it cause more problems? Yeah, Solanke. Yeah, that's it. And I said to him, yes, it would. Because, like, for me, when we play like a 3-man defense, I think it's harder because obviously I have wing backs to cope with like 2 strikers. But if you play a flat back 4, it's easier because you're more compact. So I thought when I saw them playing a 2, I was very scared. I was like, oh no, they're going to score now because I don't think our defense can cope with 2 strikers.
I know. That's where Conte has to look at the opposition, really study them before he even puts out a team and then makes the formation to suit that team. But then again, I think Conte is one of these managers who feels that we'll always get ourselves out of a hole, even if we fall behind. And he wanted to experiment a bit to see if it will work. And when he saw it didn't work, at least he had the presence of mind to make the substitutions earlier. Because last time, a lot of fans were calling for his head because they were saying he's making drastic mistakes with the substitutions. But I would never, ever call for Conte's head because the man is coming to our team. Yeah, well, he's coming to our club, and he's made us into a winning side on the majority of the times. We've only lost 3 matches, right? So 2 in the Premier League, or is it 3 in the Premier? It's 3 in the Premier League, isn't it? We've lost, and 1 in the Champions League. Newcastle, Man United, and Arsenal, and then we lost 1 in the Champions League to Sporting Lisbon. So that's 4 games. And how many games have we played in total, including the Champions League? We've played quite a lot, haven't we?
20, must be almost 20 games.
Is it 10 in the? Is it 10 or 11 we've played now? I can't remember because I haven't checked. I checked the table, but I don't always remember how many games we've played.
Yeah, I have the same issue as you. I don't ever look at.
Yeah, sometimes I can't. I look at it, but I don't remember
how many 13. 13.
We've played 13 games now. Yeah, because I think it's Arsenal who've played. I think they've played 12 now, haven't they?
And
and they're 5 points ahead of us. So literally, they can go 8 points ahead. But what I'm saying, like 13 games, we've lost 3. Yeah, and we've drawn. I think we've drawn 2, haven't we?
If you include the cup games,
8.
If you include the cup games,
we haven't played any domestic
17,
cups. We've just
18.
played...
Is it?
Yeah.
No, the 18 games then? Yeah, 18. It must be.
Yeah. Big up, Somerset boy. I love my cousins. He gave me a big hug at the Everton match. Yeah, we met.
Oh yeah, Eugene's here. Hold on.
Yeah,
hey, Eugene, you're right.
Yay! Hello, Eugene.
Hi, Lee.
Hello.
Hi,
You got the new shirt on. I see. Look, there's a Sonny one. This is nice. the 3 Spurs boys. They're the boys, Dyer and Son. You see?
Yeah, they're coming over soon, right?
Yeah, they're coming over in January for the Arsenal game. So it's not too far off. After the World Cup, isn't it? Yeah. You look really fresh, Eugene.
Yeah.
Exactly really fresh.
I ain't fresh. It's going to be 2 a.m. in Malaysia. How am I going to be fresh? I just finished work.
Oh my God!
I'm watching the MU game.
It's 1-0 to United. I saw.
Yeah, 1-0. They scored Rashford. Yeah.
Header.
But West Ham is trying to get one back at the moment. Yeah.
But did you see that pass by Højbjerg to Sessegnon?
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, come on, my boy.
Honestly, when yesterday's game started, right? I was actually working for the first half.
Yeah, you both missed the first half, it looks like.
Yeah, I missed the first half.
Because I was with my daughters, so I didn't really want to be disrespectful. Because I
sat down and watched that first half. It was atrocious.
I missed the first half.
They didn't miss anything, really, guys, to be honest with you.
And by the time early in the second half, when they got the second goal, I was like, okay, here we go.
I thought it was like 3 or 4 at that point, Eugene. I was really scared.
Yeah. But no, happy a bit. We at least we got the win.
Yeah.
At least we got the win. So
I was so happy.
What do you guys think of Bentancur's performance? Because for me, he's been like MVP this year.
Yeah, Bentancur is doing well. But what my biggest fear now is my biggest fear at the moment now is that we look tired.
Yeah, it's a lot of games, isn't it?
Yeah, with all the games coming through. That's why Conte knows that he doesn't have the squad, right, to play all these games. Right, he doesn't have the quality to play all the games. So, I guess
he's doing his best with what he's got, hasn't he, Eugene? He's squeezing the blood out of the stone. Right,
that's a good way of describing that.
Actually. He's getting the best out of a load of crap.
Emerson
he's got players as well, though. He's got we've got really good players.
Eugene, tell me about Son, please. Explain to me Son, please, because this again, he was really poor.
Oh no!
Right. For me, right.
No, Eugene's okay with it. Eugene's actually alright. It's not. It's another
to me, at the moment, right? What I see about Son and Kane is that I think they're saving themselves for the World Cup, right? Because if they really do go all out, I mean, if they really do go all out and being played every game, like because Conte doesn't have a choice, right? And he's being played every game, they're bound to pick up injury. So I see is that, I've been talking to a lot of Malaysian fans over here, it's like they are not giving their all at the moment. Their focus is not there, right? So being third at the moment now seems to be a good position for us, because if we can maintain this position until after the World Cup, and hopefully the January transfer window comes along, and let's see Conte can squeeze something out of Daniel Levy, right, to get him the quality players that he needs, right?
Yeah.
Then
that's
maybe
like squeezing blood out of the stone as well, Eugene.
Most probably Conte won't be squeezing stones there. He was squeezing something else.
Yeah. You better watch out, pretty ladies. Do you know what? Do you know what I find about Conte when he does his press conferences after the match? I can see, without looking at the match, I can't tell whether we've won or lost because he's quite dire after the match. He's not really jolly because what he's seen is probably not the football he wants to see. He sends them out to play good football, and they don't.
Ellie, ever since last year, right? After the Burnley game, right? I think Conte has been gagged, right? And honestly, I think that what we see in the press conference nowadays, that's not the real Conte, right? Seriously, that's not the real Conte.
Do you think he signed an NDA?
Put an Italian zip on him.
Maybe he has. Maybe he's got to sign a non-disclosure document.
Basically, they said zip it.
I think Mourinho signed one. I'm almost guaranteed Mourinho signed one.
I think they all have to sign one whenever you have a chairman like Levy, right? You have to sign one.
So even if I was the manager, I'd have to sign one.
Yeah. Nah.
But
my worry now is actually the Marseille game. We're playing away. Yeah. And our players look jaded, honestly. Why I mean, it's so obvious that why the Conte made 7 changes for the Bournemouth game, right? So what I believe is that he's trying to save the legs, right? And he knows that it's not going to be an easy trip. So let's see how that goes.
Do you think we're going to go through, Eugene? Because I'm quite worried.
The catch there is that all we need is a draw, right? That's always the biggest catch, right? If all we need is a draw, right? And if we go out there and play for a draw, most probably we're going to lose, you see? So if we needed to win, then maybe the onus is there for us to go out and win. But, you don't play too well in the first half in nearly all of the games that we've watched recently.
I asked Eddie the same question. I'm going to ask you, why do we have to concede a goal to start playing?
I think it's some kind of a mechanism that Conte has at the moment. He doesn't have the complete squad to play all these games. So what he does is, I think his plan is that the first half of the game, right, he absorbs pressure, right? And with defenders like Dyer and Davis and all that, what do you expect? What do you expect, right? So what do you expect? We're bound to concede, right? So, but I think after the second half, that's when we have to put on the pressure when we are down. Then it shows what we have in the quality in the attack. But the sad part is, like, why do we always play like that, right? So I guess that's why we play like that at the moment. Conte has this planned out meticulously because the summer transfer window, we weren't back. He weren't back to what he really wanted. So it's showing now. Clearly showing now. I think first 8 games or so, including the Champions League games, now 10 games, including the Champions League games, right? Like I said, we look very jaded because the demand that Conte wants on the players, right? I don't think the squad depth actually meet up to it. That's my point of view, right? And that's my opinion, right? But I have another opinion too, so but that won't be very nice online, on air.
It's been over 10 minutes.
But
like as Eugene,
we suck, right? We suck, and we suck so bad, right?
but Eugene, as in, like, why do you think, like, because this is every game this season, we always concede first to wake up. Like, why is this the case? What is going on? Even from the start of the season.
You see, because have you not noticed we don't play in the first half?
Yeah,
we don't come out to play in the first half.
Why?
No, because we're conserving energy. You see, we're conserving energy because every game we're conserving energy in the first half, not to attack, not to run out of steam. Because remember the West Ham game that we had with Mourinho, we went out, we scored 3-0, then we ran out of steam, and then they came back, and that's demoralizing. So I guess if it was in the opposite way, right? If we go 1 or 2 down and then we come back and we win, right, which is very seldom at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So that will at least boost the confidence. I mean, come on, guys. We keep saying it's Bournemouth. Of course, it's Bournemouth, but still, at least we still was able to squeeze out something, right? So that's how I see it.
Do you think the substitutions, obviously they made a difference, but like, is it because, for example, Bissouma's not playing well, Skip he's done all right, to be fair, but like for me, Højbjerg, I've got to be honest with you, you're gonna hate me for this, Eddie, but I don't think he had a good first half at all until Benzema came on. Højbjerg was a bit meh.
That's his partner in crime, you see.
Yeah, but Benzema, like, if he didn't come on, I don't think we win that game.
We don't have the quality. That is the sad part, is that we don't have the quality in the squad to actually go and play what Conte wants to play.
Yeah.
So
we don't have the depth. That's the problem.
We don't have the quality, but we've got the star players who can pull us out that lack of quality. We're lucky we've got players like Bentancur, like Kulu, like Kane, and so on. If we didn't have those 4 players, it would be a bit of a struggle, and we're missing one of them already.
Do you think he's going to be back on Wednesday, on Tuesday?
But Ellie, our injuries have already come early to us, right? We're really missing Richie, we're missing Decky, and we're missing Romero. Right. And the same thing goes for Romero too, right? Romero hasn't been performing like the Romero we knew last season. Why?
No.
The World Cup. Simple as that.
You think
it all boils down to the World Cup. All of them, right? Our players, right? They are not like in teams like Man City or Chelsea, where they have enough depth in the squad to rotate good players to come out. We don't. So what happens is that players like Romero, Son, Kane, right? There's always this thing in the back of their mind. If I get injured now, right, the World Up is over. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the World Cup is about what, 3 weeks time? 3 weeks time?
Yeah.
20 days time or so.
I agree with you, Eugene, 100% on that, because you see Romero, right? He normally goes crunching into tackles, and then he'll go in once, and then he'll go in second time for the second bite. Well, he's not even doing that. I've only seen him do it once this season, properly, like he normally does. Yeah, because every game you'll see him do it 2 or 3 times, won't you? He'll go to win that ball. He's like a little terrier. He's on you, isn't he? But he's not doing it because he knows he could get injured. He's already picked up a hip injury, and it took him time to come back from that. And he's thinking, well, my hip's not very good. Really, Spurs should rest him so that we can see the best of him before the World Cup.
Aren't we? We are resting.
Yeah, still on. Like, I
Ellie,
mean, rest him,
right? Who do we have?
Sanchez.
Even more.
Yeah.
I know.
I'd rather see Tanganga.
We had another defender. There's a guy called Pascozzi, I think his name is. Yeah, why don't we bring him in from the? I know Conte doesn't really play youths, does he?
Yeah. Ellie, we've been saying this the whole last season too, when we were doing the 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss, right? Why doesn't Conte give you a chance? But we know that Conte will never give you a chance. Even look at that. We got Papa Mate Sarr.
Yeah,
right?
No chance of him.
I don't think he's even on the bench.
No.
Right? And now there's rumors saying that Jet Spence might have to go on a loan. Right?
Yeah, to Crystal Palace apparently. Yeah. Because
that might be good for him though. That might be good for him.
I saw an advert in the Spurs career thing. They're looking for drivers to drive players to their matches, not just academy players, other players as well. So yeah. I just think we just haven't got enough strength in depth, like Eugene said, and that's why they have to play the top players, because the second players and the third players are just not up to Conte's standard.
Conte said he was prioritising Tuesday over Bournemouth anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously Tuesday is like a bigger game, really.
Of course, because we need to qualify But you know what? If we don't qualify for some reason, it won't be the be all and end all. I know. I want to win the Champions League. I do really want to win
we
it.
can't win the
But when we
Champions
got
League.
to the
Come on.
final, I know when we got to the
we
final,
can't win the Champions League with players like Dyer, Davis.
no.
Right?
But do you know what? Against Liverpool, when we lost the final, everything went against us. Kane wasn't fit. Poch made the wrong choice by playing Winks. He put Sissoko in there. The handball, everything went against us. We were destined to win it that year.
Yeah.
But everything went against us.
I think it's what you call, right? When you see, on our way to the final that year, right? We beat M City in the quarterfinals, like, you know, the skin of our teeth. And then when we beat Ajax, right, in Amsterdam, right, it also was the skin of our teeth. It's like we used up all our luck.
That's how we got there, yeah.
Yeah, but we were good against Ajax in the second half, Eugene. We were very good against Ajax in the second half. We did. Sometimes you can make your own luck in football. Same at Man City. They dominated. They dominated us, Man City, over the two games. The first game when we won 1-0 and Sonny scored, that was a pretty not even game. They had more chances, but you expect Man City to have more chances because they're a better team. They can play better football. So you've got to ride your luck with Man City because they will always outplay you. They will, because they're fantastic.
Eugene, do you see us going through on Tuesday or not?
Of course, I want us to go through, but
do you see it happening or not?
If you see, to me, is that if we don't go through, right, I'd rather be last. I don't even want to be in the Europa.
I don't play Europa League.
I don't even want to be in the Europa Cup because to tell the truth, right, we don't need that extra games because we don't have the squad depth. And by the time comes, right, when you talk about after the World Cup, then you have, if we still get through in the Carabao Cup, then the FA Cup comes along, then you got Champions League, then you have the league. Who's gonna play?
Who's gonna
play?
I know. If we pick up any injuries, we're going to be. Oh, it's going to be so hard at Spurs watching our third choice players. It's bad enough watching the second choices and the first choices.
But Eddie, the youth might surprise us. You understand what I'm saying? We might uncover some gems there.
Yeah, true.
Do you think, Ellie? Do you think we're going to sign anyone in January? Then, do you think we're going to sign anyone in January?
You know what? There's a big noise going around that we're going to get Udogie back for January. We're trying to work that deal. I'm not sure how true it is. I'm not sure how true it is. There was just a bit of noise, but maybe it's fake noise, fake news.
The condition for the purchase for Udogie is, I think, we have to, it's going to be a 1 year back at Udinese. Unless what, Conte's going to pay, Levy's going to pay silly money to buy him back? I don't know.
We have to buy some players in January, though. We've got to try and get maybe even a second choice centre back just to replace Dyer, because he's so bad on the ball. He's so
he can't
control the ball. He takes 3 or 4 touches to actually pass the ball sometimes, and he just passes side to side, backwards side. I mean, it's so depressing when he gets the ball. You know.
Ellie, what did you think of Longley playing in the middle? I know you only saw the second half. What do you think of that?
Do you know what? It wasn't because I didn't see the first half, and their goals came from his position really, because he's supposed to be commanding in the middle, and I didn't find him anywhere. Where was he? Because I watched the goals back, and I saw him, but he wasn't in position.
The first goal, someone said he was spun. He wasn't really spun. The player just ran around him, and then the other 2 defenders around just completely missed the player. Obviously, once it went past Longley.
But wasn't he supposed to be playing central?
He was.
But it looked like he was more playing left back.
Because Davies was playing
the
on the left.
half, so I wouldn't know what happened there.
Yeah.
If Davies was on the left, then surely Longley should have been where keeper Moore was. and then Sanchez on the right. So he would have tucked in to try to stop Keeper Moore, and then Longley should have been the player marking Keeper Moore. But I didn't see him anywhere. Keeper Moore just had free rein on that second goal. The second goal I'm talking about, not the first goal.
Second goal was I saw the second goal. Ellie, I mean, you take out Dyer, right, and you put Sanchez in there. I don't understand. I think our defense either don't have the intelligence, right, or they just in the days. They don't know where they are, and they don't know where the ball is, right? No. And they don't anticipate what kind of crosses comes in and to intercept or not to intercept. And like that's it. And sometimes that we don't man mark anymore.
No.
Right? Somehow or another we don't man mark anymore.
We zonal mark, don't we?
And they you use zonal mark. But Ellie, when you zonal mark with idiots, right? That's what you get.
I know, but they're idiots. But they also ball watch. They don't look at the player where he's running. They watch the ball, right? No, you've got to look at your player where he's running and stop him. That's the art of.
That's what I'm saying. Defending. When you zonal mark with idiots, right? That's what you get.
I know, bunch of idiots.
Idiots, right? Conte should say, stick with your men, right? Wherever they go, stick like glue, right? Then you have man marking. But the problem is that you zonal mark, you don't man mark, right? And then you got people who don't have the intelligence to understand what's happening in the game, right? It's not to say that we are very intelligent about it too, but we can see it, right? When the ball comes in that way, Keeper Moore is a strong striker with his head, right? And you see Sanchez is like lost, wandering around the area. He doesn't know what to do.
He should be in Peter Pan, not in football pitches. Because he's a lost boy.
But Ellie, at least one thing Conte has done with Sanchez that's good, right? He doesn't falls all over the place nowadays. Remember, we used to call him Bambi on ice.
Because do you remember the goal we conceded against Man City when he was like on the floor like this?
And against Arsenal when he gave the penalty away. Oh my God!
Sanchez, to me, like I'm so nervous whenever he gets near the ball. Like he's gonna just kick it up in the air or something.
I know, but
he makes us nervous because he's nervous.
I don't know whether
you think Dyer did all right on the right when he came on.
But whether it's a total curse or not, it could be a curse for Tottenham. Sanchez plays very well for Colombia, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, he does.
He plays very well for Colombia. But whenever he comes to play for Spurs, right, he puts on a jersey, right, he becomes somebody else.
It's like Son can take corners for Korea, but he was taking corners for us, and he just hits the wall every time now.
You know what? I was at Steve Perriman's talk at Ware Football Club, and he said something really good, right? He said, Eric Dyer is a very good footballer, he said, but he's in the wrong position. He's not a defender. So he's found wanting. When he said he's a very good footballer, what he meant by that is more suited to midfield, because in midfield you've got more time to get the ball. When you're a defender, you're under stress, and he doesn't handle stress very well. The thing with Dyer, but Dyer when he first came to Spurs, right, he was a CDM. I know.
He actually played at right back, and then he played at centre back, and then Poch moved into midfield because remember we didn't sign defensive.
Was he at right back at first?
He played him right back in his first game. Yeah, his first
I always thought he was central midfielder. That's how I remember.
You guys don't remember.
Saying he played right back. Yeah, he did.
Poch converted him because that summer.
Yeah, that's right.
Before the Leicester season,
I remember now.
We were linked with who was it? Schneiderlin. There was like a list of players we were linked with.
Schneiderlin, from Southampton, isn't it?
There was another player as well, and basically we didn't sign a player. And then apparently Poch pulled over Dyer and said, I'm going to convert you into midfielder. And then Dyer started playing in central defensive midfield alongside Dembele or whoever else it was at the time.
And he started to go backwards, right?
Out of like necessity. But then I thought Dyer was going to stay.
Wijnaldum. That's it. Wijnaldum we were linked with. Yeah, Wijnaldum. Yeah. And we never got
where Wijnaldum went to.
Liverpool.
Yeah, he went to Liverpool and he won everything.
Yeah.
Champions League,
But
everything.
Poch converted him into a DM. He was never meant to be a DM. He signed as a centre back. He played
I
at right
know,
back.
and he didn't. What a bad mistake. Because as a midfielder, I think he's quite competent because you got more time on the ball. You've got more, but he's not a brilliant midfielder. Don't get me wrong, but he's a better midfielder than a defender because defensively,
I agree with that completely.
He's like he doesn't concentrate enough, and he turns his back a lot, and because he's got such a big body, he can't turn quick enough. You know, there's centre halves that are very agile, but he's like he can't move his body quick enough, so they easily beat him. And also, he's not very good at like marshalling the defence either. Everybody says he's a good communicator.
He's not.
No, I don't think so. He might speak so many languages, but he's not speaking the language of football.
The thing with Dyer that I hate the most.
Sorry, Eric Dyer, if you're watching, you know.
Oh yeah, Eric Dyer.
You have got some good attributes. Just put it that way. You're playing for our club. You know, we have to.
And I can't stand it when they give contract extensions to Eric
Dyer.
Dyer.
They're going to give one to Dyer.
If they give him another contract, they are going to give him one that you know it. You know he's going to get a contract.
Davis has already got one. Why do you think Dyer won't get one? Dyer will get one too.
Dyer will get one.
I've been saying it, right?
We
are a retirement home, right? For bang average players.
Yeah.
Right? We keep them forever.
You imagine Eric Dyer and Sanchez sitting in their care home when they're older.
Oh, no. They're going to do their testimonial with Ben Davis, Dyer, right, and Sanchez.
As a back three.
In the back three, right? And concede 6 goals in the testimonial.
But like, for me, with Dyer, again, like he just blames everyone else when he makes a mistake. It just really pisses me off. I'm just
he looks around, doesn't he? Who's to blame?
Like,
and he looks. Do you know what though? He does care.
Maybe that's why all the managers like him, right? It's not my fault.
But
I think that's what
Ellie, you'll be happy. Højbjerg's getting a new contract, apparently.
But Højbjerg
he deserves it. Pay rise as well. The amount
he deserves
it, right? He puts his all out there. I mean, he does have his
120 grand a week.
He does have his frailty sometimes, right? But he does gives his all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
What Jimmy Green said, right? It's very good for a player to work hard and run around, but they have to affect the game as well. Now, Højbjerg does affect the game.
He did that assist on the weekend.
Yeah, it's not just the system.
Ellie, he's starting to have an effect on the game.
He's a very good player. Yeah. I like him because he communicates. He should be our next captain.
I think
and
so
I'm not
too.
saying that because I love him as a player, but he really does communicate with his hands as well.
I'd make him our captain now, to be honest.
He goes like that a lot.
Would you guys keep on playing Lloris? Because now you mentioned about the captaincy.
Well, the only other alternative is Forster, and I don't rate him. I rate Lloris.
To tell the truth, guys, I think in the January transfer window, we should bring someone in to start to be Lloris's replacement.
Understudy.
In January.
Very well said.
I prefer to start January now because to tell the truth, right, I don't think Forster will get a game to play. Right, Forster is like, at the moment, maybe maybe the League Cup or the FA Cup in the early rounds, maybe he'll get a chance, right? But at the moment, as I see it, Lloris will always be there because he can't play out from the back to save his life, right? But that's what we have at the moment. Yeah, that's the sad part.
He has one pass out of 10 that's good from the back. I saw him do one against Leicester City, and it was fabulous. And I thought, what's Lloris taking lessons? And then he's done about 9 bad ones.
If Lloris, right, takes the ball and hooves it up the field, right, I got no worries. Yeah, it's better.
I think it's better. Just clear your lines.
Yeah, but when he starts doing the left and right things, that worries me. Yeah. The left and right ones are the ones that worries me.
He can't control the ball either. He can't control the ball with his feet. You know, in the World Cup, I know he won the World Cup, and I big him up for that because he played very well. But there was one gap. Yeah, because you know what he does? He takes his foot off the ball and he miscontrols it a lot. He does that at Spurs, and then he panics and he does a daft pass, even worse pass than he would have if he got it under control.
But Ellie, you must understand, if you're playing for the French national team, right? The quality of the players that he has is totally different that you have with Spurs.
I know, of course. Yeah. You've got World Cup, you've got the creme de la creme of France. Yeah. You know, you've got your that parfait, you've got your creme brulee. At Spurs, you've got treacle pudding.
Oh, no.
Pudding, everybody. No, but you've got your beautiful food, and then you've got your crap food.
Like, so what did you guys think of like the fact we got like 20 corners against Bournemouth? Like, that was a bit.
But guys, it's Bournemouth.
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
I mean,
I know they're crap.
They was 9-0 by Liverpool, and look what Liverpool doing now, losing to Leeds. Guys.
I know. Leeds deserves to win that game as well. You know, they played very well. Leeds.
I think a lot of factors this season is that because of the compact season of the Champions League with the World Cup being in mid-season and all that, I think it's taking its toll on the teams that actually playing 2 or 3 games a week, right? So what I see now is like Liverpool is, I think, suffering like us, right? They've had even more injuries than us. They had their injuries in the beginning of the season. That's why they've been wobbling like that, right? And whether they can recover or not, I'm not sure. But of course, Liverpool will still have the quality because we're going to play them at home, right? Next week, if I'm not mistaken.
6th of November,
right? Dr. Tottenham next Sunday. Yeah.
I know.
I know.
But I think that if we can get a result in Marseille and we do proceed forward in the Champions League, maybe that will give us more confidence, right? To tackle the Liverpool game. But guys, don't forget what happened against Newcastle, right? But of course, I think Newcastle just ran us off the park. Simple as that.
They won again yesterday against Villa. Was it Villa?
Yeah, 4-0.
I think Newcastle were in the race for top 4, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so
they are in the top 4, so they are in the top 4. And the scary part about but Harry, the scary part of Newcastle is, right, if they maintain this position and they go into the January transfer window next year, right? Imagine what's going to happen.
They're going to buy
Yeah. They most probably go and buy a couple of gems from the World Cup and bring them into the team. That's how I see it. Right? And we're going to buy a couple of shit players from the World Cup and bring them into the team.
Sissoko will come back.
You know what? However good Newcastle are, they still haven't got the star players we've got. So I think we will finish above them just about. I think we'll finish third.
Ellie.
They still haven't got
what star players do we have? Kane, Son, Romero,
and Benny.
Now Benny's fine, right? Yeah.
And Lloris is another one.
I don't think he's a star player anymore.
Regardless of his stats lately, he's been fabulous for Spurs. He's been the 3rd best goalie in the Premiership consistently.
Yeah. But when you look at what Newcastle has, right? They've brought in Botman, right? They got Guimaraes.
He would have taken Botman. We've got to take him Botman.
Yeah.
We were late with Botman 2 seasons ago. Oh, God, this sucks.
Guimaraes is on the level with Bentancur. You can't say Guimaraes is any better than Bentancur. Not in my book. I think Bentancur offers you a lot. He's been really, really good this season as well.
But Guimaraes is more...
That game against Sporting, he was fabulous. Yesterday, he affected the game, scored our winner. He's been really good this season. I like Bentancur because he works for the team. He really he's an unselfish player. Yeah. He's very elegant to watch as well. I like him.
Thing with Bentancur, he's very clever. Like, he knows what pass he's going to make already by the time before he gets the ball.
He's a more cleverer footballer than Højbjerg.
Yeah.
The thing is that I think last January transfer window, we brought in 2 very intelligent football players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Brilliant.
2 very intelligent football players, right? Yeah. To try to help our 90% of dumb players that we have. Try to gain the levels of it. Yeah.
But what I'm saying, Eugene, just to reiterate just to help my point, is they haven't got a Kane or Son. If Kane or Son hit form, they haven't even hit form yet. And Kane's got 10
Kane,
goals, is it? And Sonny
yeah,
5. They haven't even
to me
hit anywhere near form.
Kane and Son, that telepathic link, right? It's not on now because I think because the World Cup is coming on, right?
Only one
after the
pass
World Cup.
against Bournemouth.
After the World Cup, I think you'll see the real Kane and Son come back. That's how I see it. I got a funny feeling. After the World Cup, depending on how it goes, right? We'll see.
I hope England get knocked out of the groups just so Kane can get a rest.
And we're going to go flying past Arsenal. Come on, Spurs. Yes.
To tell the truth now, I'm not sure how far England can go, right? Yeah. If the injuries mount up, I don't think how far
England 5-0 today. Arsenal.
Yeah, they won 5-0. Yeah. They're very impressive, Arsenal. They played nice football.
But guys, don't forget, I think Saka is injured.
Yeah, I saw that.
Martinelli. I wish we had Martinelli.
He's class. Martinelli's class.
Class. What a class player. If only we bought him. We had the chance, I think, to buy him as well.
Ellie, it's always the if we bought the players. You know, we're Spurs.
Mane.
But we've got Kulu. So let's count our blessings that we've got Kulu. Because when he comes back, what a culture player he is.
But
he'll give us more
goals. Enough. It's not enough.
We need another 3 or 4 in January. I think we're going to get 2, but we really need 3 or 4. But I think we're going to get 2 because
in January it will be the same thing again, right? Brian Daigle will be standing outside Hospital protesting.
I know. You know what? He's right. What he says though, everything Brian Daigle says is because he's passionate about Spurs, right? He wants us to do well. He's not one of these fans who cut paper over the cracks. He says it as it is, which I admire about him. You know, he only wants the best for our club. That's all he wants.
But Ellie, we all do. You see? Yeah, we all do. You see? But the thing is that, we all do want the best for our club, but certain people have a different level of best, and we have a different level of best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everyone's got their own.
He's more passionate about getting Levy out because he just doesn't like the way he's run the club for 22 seasons. Because we haven't been successful, Eugene. 1 cup.
I understand that.
Come on. That's not good.
Levy out. I'm Levy out. So
I'm Levy out too. Yeah, we all Levy out here. Most of us.
Yeah.
You know what? I want Levy out because I feel that he's let us down a lot and he's let the managers down and he sacked the managers when it wasn't the manager's fault. It's his fault. His fault.
The one that really, really annoys me still is that January window when we bought Saha and Nelson. That's when I literally turned to Levy out after that window. Oh, that was it for me.
Yeah. You know what? And if I become the ladies' ambassador, the women's ambassador,
you have to speak to him, can't you?
Well, you know, I might even have to refuse it. Do you know
Ellie,
you tell
them, right? Ellie, you tell them, if Levy leaves, I'll take it.
yeah. I'm going to wait to Google take us over, hopefully. Either Google or Amazon, this bidding war.
I wouldn't mind Uber Eats,
you don't know what's true, though, do you?
I don't know.
How true is the Google rumours?
It's gone quiet now. I don't know.
Ellie, you've been a Spurs fan for how many years?
It's not true, is it?
Every rumor and every link that we have, right, never materializes.
It's fake news.
It's always fake news. Yeah, that's the Levy PR machine, right? Deflect, right? Yeah. Whenever we lose, deflect. Lose to Manchester United.
I'm just waiting for that big player to be linked with us pretty soon.
One thing that is true though is that Lewis is sold.
We've been linked to nearly every big player in the world. Which one have them? Which one has actually materialized? Right?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just waiting for like some rumors to come out. Oh, Spurs are looking at, I don't know, someone like.
Yeah, they're all rumors. But one thing that is true is that Lewis has given the club to those 2 lawyers. He shares in the club.
That is, it's not given. It's more it's a legality thing.
Minister in it, aren't they?
Yeah, no, it's a legality thing. If I'm mistaken, 50% of ENIC is now being held by these 2 people in trust of somebody we do not know, or maybe it's in trust for his family. right?
I
Just in
think
case
it'll be
he,
in touch with his
yeah,
daughter.
just in case he kicks the bucket all of a sudden, right?
I know he's
Then
85 for God's sake.
I
We don't want to
I
wish.
thought he was
We don't want to
94.
wish him an early death, but you know he's looking after his family. You know, no, we want him to. We want him to live because he's a good entrepreneur. You know, he hasn't done all the best by Spurs a lot of the time, but the thing is, he's obviously going to give it to his daughter. That's what I think. 'Cause she's a massive,
Danny
massive
Kyriakou
Spurs
told me
fan.
that his daughter doesn't like the way Levy runs the club.
Yeah, that is true. But who does? I think
But
only
I mean,
Levy's the only one.
his son. Apparently,
Only
his son's
he.
different. His
Yeah,
son's
but
different. His
listen,
son's
Levy's
like,
the only one who thinks he's running the club well. Because if the bank balance is good and there's money in the coffers, he paid himself, what was it, 9 million pounds?
Yeah, for making the stadium, wasn't it?
See what I mean? You know, the rich get richer.
That's true. The case. Like, paying yourself is just crazy. Can you imagine paying yourself 8 million? It's just
it's not fair because I don't know. I'm quite disillusioned by what's happening at our club. You know, we should have one direction. We've got Conte in place. He's an elite manager, right? We should be pushing. You know, we should be pushing to win these titles: FA Cups, League Cups, Champions League. We should be competing at a higher level. But we've always been the bridesmaid, haven't we? Sometimes we haven't even been the bridesmaid. You know, it's true, isn't it, Eugene?
Yeah. But also, you know, so what are you guys' score predictions for Tuesday then?
Okay.
So, Ellie, what's your score prediction for Tuesday?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, because I think we thought you said you had to leave quite soon.
I think we're going to win 2-1. Me
2-1.
personally, 2-1. Yeah.
Marseille?
In
you
Marseille?
mean against Marseille?
Yeah. Marseille on Tuesday.
2-1. Right. So
right.
my
I was going to say that's why I told you score prediction now. Okay, all right. So 2-1 Tottenham, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 2-1 Tottenham, and I've got to go and have my spaghetti bolognese. But
all right.
Stay Spurs. Leave it out.
Yeah.
And come back, Kulu.
Yeah. All right. Take care. See you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ellie's gone. Okay.
My
score prediction is that I think we're just going to skin it through. I think Conte is going to go there and he's going to defend. Yeah, he's going to park the bus and defend, right? Until we concede a goal, like what we've always been doing, then only he will start putting out the players to attack. But my biggest worry now is that we're not playing against Bournemouth, right? And we did see what Marseille did to us in our home ground until they went down to 10 men. That's how we won, right? That's how I see. That's how I saw it. And they're at home, but I think they have they're not allowed to have fans in there or something like that. They have a fans ban or something, yeah. But let's hope that's true, right? But you never know. I think Levy will go. I think Conte will go and park the bus, right? To try to get the draw for us to go through to the next round, because don't forget, most probably he'll have keeping his eye on the game because we're going to play Liverpool next, right? So that'll be another big game for us. So if we get out of there with a 0-0,
Perisic will start, Doherty will start because they didn't play on the weekend.
Oh, I don't know. I can tell you who will start. I'll guarantee you Emerson Royale will start.
Dyer will be back, won't he? Yeah, Dyer's going to come back.
Emerson Royale is bound to start, right, Harry? He doesn't miss a game for Spurs with Conte there, right? But maybe Dyer will start, right? Because he was saved. His legs were safe on Saturday. We saw that. Dyer will start. Now it's between either Langley or Davis.
I think Langley will play.
Maybe Langley will play, yeah. Maybe Langley will play, right? Because it's in the French league, right? So he will be more. Maybe you understand French what they're saying, whatever. How they're going to play, right?
Spencer's definitely going to start for sure.
Yeah, Benny. Yeah, Bentancur. Bentancur will start. Yeah, Bentancur will start. Right.
Do you see us
Then
going 3-5-2 again or 3-4-3?
oh, don't go to me with the 3-5-2. I tell you, we've been trying to perfect the 3-4-3, right? And it's been giving us so much problems, right? Because we don't have the wing backs to actually make it
work.
Correct, right? But have you not noticed that whenever we go into a 3-5-2, right? It's like the players get lost. They don't know how to play anymore.
But
that's my biggest worry. That's my biggest worry. That's why when Conte drills you into a system, it's a 3-4-3. Then all of a sudden you put them in a 3-5-2. It's like they're reading from a different book now, right? Why is it all of a sudden from English it becomes German? You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the instructions, right? So, and the worst part is that we're not even going to get Conte there because based on UEFA manager red cards, right? They are not allowed to communicate at all with anybody. They're not allowed to be in the tunnel. They're not allowed to be in the rooms. I don't know. There's some weird rule there. They're not even allowed to be sitting in the stands. Most probably Conte had to sit in the hotel and he can't FaceTime them. He can't talk to them, right? But maybe he can send code messages across, right? While watching the game from his hotel room, right? Most probably he'll be text message. Most probably he'll be sending a message to his wife. Then the wife will have to pass the message to the wife's girlfriend, right? The wife's girlfriend will have to pass the message to the coach's wife, right? Then only the message will get to the pitch. That's my biggest worry, right? But I don't know. Park the bus. I think that's all we're going to do is just put 11 players in front of the goal and just let Marseille just shoot at us and let's see who falls off. Then we'll change the players. Hope for the best, right? Right? If you can cover the goalpost with all the players standing there, right? That's all. In line, one big line, one straight line. I hope nothing goes through. But
I think we'll scrape through like 2-2 or something, and I can't see it being easy.
No, I said it'll be a 0-0 until Marseille scores, right? Then the tactics will change. Then we'll go out and most probably put one in. Then we'll sit back again. Then they'll score one, and then we'll go out again, right? And then we'll score one. Right?
Back and forth.
Yeah. And then most probably this time it'll be some kind of a controversial Marseille winner, right? And then it'll be ruled out by VAR.
And then we'll just about go through, just about.
No. We'll go through. This is payback, Harry. Marseille will score a last-minute winner, right? And VAR will chalk it off. Right.
I'm quite worried because obviously, like you said, Marseille played really well against us.
Yeah. But have you not noticed, right? Any above average team plays very well against us. Above average, I'm not talking good, right? Elite or world class team plays very good against us. Just above average, slightly above average, they play very well against Spurs. You know why? Because we're always lost. In the first half, we're always lost. We don't know what we're doing. Or maybe that's Conte's tactic, right? Pretend to be injured. You get what I'm saying? A wounded lion, right? Wounded lion. Yeah, I know. Yeah. At the moment now, we are more like a wounded cat. I don't say the other word.
Oh, God. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. Yeah. So, Eugene, when are you next streaming?
I don't know. I was thinking I'll do one tomorrow, but it's been tiring. So let's see. That's why I hopped onto your show, right? Maybe I might not do one. Yeah, because I like to do streams with other clubs, with a lot of other clubs going around. It's just talking about Spurs. If I want to talk about Spurs, I'll jump onto some other Spurs stream and talk about Spurs because they'll all be talking about Spurs, right? When I do my streams, I like to bring in other clubs to get other clubs' perspective and all that. So like Spurs perspective.
If you haven't subscribed to Eugene, subscribe to Eugene's channel.
Yeah,
I've been on your streams before. They're really good, actually. I really like them because it's more chilled.
Yeah, and we get a lot of other opinions from other clubs and all that. So yeah, but somehow or another, I attract a lot of Arsenal fans to join my show.
Well, I had a Bournemouth fan on my show last
Thursday. It was a good show. I saw that show, right? Yeah. Yeah, he was.
I went on his show as well the day after. So
that's
pretty good.
that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess
It's quite late where you are, so I probably need to let you go.
yeah. So I guess what I was saying is that, like what I've been saying, right? We just hope for a draw and we scrape through, and most probably we'll get Real Madrid in the last 16 and get smacked.
Get smacked up.
Get punched up real bad. Or maybe Conte will, because guys, don't forget, when we start playing our next round of Champions League games, right? It most probably be somewhere in January. So hopefully by then we'll get some improvements in our players.
We'll sign some players.
Yeah, hopefully. By being a deluded Spurs fan, right? We always hope that Levy will do something good, right? For the football team. The hope that kills you.
Kills us, basically.
Yeah. It's the hope that kills you. But thanks for having me on, Harry. Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
how long has
just
been
stream,
about?
come on, you Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs. Levy